Hello, DeSoto, and welcome back to Mayor's Minutes, your quick and clear recap of what's going on at City Hall. I'm Mayor Rick Walker, and at our April 17th council meeting, we had just a little bit of everything: art, infrastructure, housing, public safety, and summer fun. So let's break it down. We started the meeting considering some donation requests to 3 local groups. The Caw Valley Sportsmen's Association received support for their annual Fisherman's Derby, which is always a fun family event that gets folks outside enjoying the sun and the water. Learn Nature was approved for a small donation to help run a free summer camp and organize a citywide garage sale in June, and the DeSoto Historical Society received funding to support their work preserving our local stories and landmarks. These donations, while small in size, will have a great impact in our community. We also gave the green light to this year's Downtown Summer Market Series, which kicks off in May and will run through September. These Friday night events are always a hit and include live music, farmers market, food trucks, and are a great excuse to get together downtown. We're lining up partners and vendors, so if you're interested in participating, now's the time to get in touch. Next, we turn to old business and approve the final design for the student-created art sculpture at City Hall. The project came from Cedar Trail's Exploration Center CAPS program, and it's designed to tell the story of DeSoto's past, present, and future. Very happy to see the progress the students are making and looking forward to seeing that finished product. Under new business, we held a public hearing and approved a rural housing incentive district for the Flint Meadows East project, which is a housing development that will include 200 single-family homes and more than 100 townhomes on the west side of town. This RHID project will allow the developer to use a portion of future property tax revenue to cover the costs of roads and utilities. And the goal of providing this incentive is to reduce the cost of homes, providing a more affordable product to future DeSoto residents or folks in the community that want to move to a different housing option. We also approved a special use permit for a concrete batch plant near 103rd and Evening Star Road. Geiger Ready Mix, who has already been operating a temporary plant in town, wants to establish a permanent facility here. The City Council approved a 10-year permit with some conditions to try and mitigate potential negative impacts of the development, but we look forward to Geiger's $36 million investment in our community. And along those lines, right after that, Geiger presented a request for some economic incentives, including a request for a property tax abatement and sales tax exemption on construction materials. This request will be considered by our Economic Incentives Committee. For a closer look, it will be evaluated by our Bond and Financial Council, and then the City Council will revisit this at a future meeting. Focusing back on City Hall, we considered several change orders for our ongoing renovation project. The change orders were to deal with some conditions uncovered during the demolition, some additional finishes that we've added to the garden level to finish the Arts Council room consistent with the rest of the City Hall renovation, and reimagine some space so that we have some additional space for Parks and Rec programming. All told, the goal of these is to help deliver a more functional, welcoming building and are all covered by the project's contingency fund. We also received an update from the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Department provides our police protection, and they provided the council with a look at public safety data from the past 3 years. We've seen an increase in traffic enforcement and drug-related incidents, largely due to stepped-up patrols along K-10, but we also were pleased to see a reduction in property crime and injury-related crashes. And finally, we wrapped up with the 2024 audit report, which was presented by our independent auditors. The report confirms that the city finances are in good shape and that the city is managed responsibly, which is always good news. That's the recap. From student art to strategic housing, from public safety to summer markets, it was a meeting of meaningful decisions. And as always, if you've got questions, thoughts, or just want to talk about what's next for DeSoto, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you around town.